Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is take two. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that button below, hit that post notification bell, and you'll be notified, hopefully, whenever we put out new content. Now, if you were around for the first take where I forgot to turn the microphone on, you will have heard what I was going to do. But I didn't turn the microphone on. So, yeah. In short, we are working on the 72, yes, the 72 Challenger today. Some of the parts, the doors. Why? Because it's cold, it's Minnesota, and I don't feel like leaving my daily outside to bring a project up to the garage every day and then back down to the shop every night. That just seems annoying. So we're working on some of our smaller parts. We've got the doors, we've got the hood, we've got the trunk, and hopefully very soon here I'm bringing it up here for a long weekend to get hopefully all of the metal work done, all those panels we've got, the roof swap, and then I think we can start slowly putting things back together, unless of course we pull out the engine. Anyways, back to this topic, we have the door. It has some rust back here. I'll show you that in just a minute because I'm going to show you the stuff that I did when I didn't turn on the microphone. And that is pretty much disassembling the inside of the door, taking off the door panel, the crank, all that good stuff. And it's pretty easy. It's a 3/16" Allen head for the window regulator, a 3/8 for the door lock, and an American 10 mil to take the door pull, the door release off. Then you've got about a dozen Phillips head screws to take the plastic door card off on the inside. And then there's 4 metal clips at the base of it that I can show you. Oh, actually there's only 2 because 2 of them are gone, but there should be 4 metal clips that hold this card on to the bottom of the frame or the bottom of the door, and I see there's been mice chewing on it in the past. We'll get this cleaned up. Here's what the inside of the door card looked like, and I've already started to kind of clean this up a little bit and see if we can bring it back to any sort of life or luster, or if we want to try and re-dye it. Or something like that, because this side is dirty, it's gray, it's faded, dry and chalky. This side I did clean off, and I'm trying to use non-petroleum based cleaners so it doesn't further dry out the plastic. So we will see how that comes out, and if it's not going to work, maybe, like I said, we'll see about dyeing it black again for Darren. The door card itself is in fine shape. There's no need to replace it. They're not cheap. It's just faded and chalky. So if we can fix that for him, excellent. So I'm going to leave you with the time lapse quick as I take the inside of the door apart. When we come back, we'll look at this little piece of rust and getting that cut out and put back together. Now, most of this door is in pretty good shape. There's a few cosmetic blemishes, but it was primed years ago to help protect it. A little bit of surface rust poking through, but we can address that. There's a few little nicks and pock marks here and there. We'll, of course, get to that once we get to primer. I'm not going to get there yet today. I just want to go over this area here and make sure we can get this cleaned up and get it ready for primer, so that when we do get more of our parts cleaned up, we've got, like I said, the hood, the trunk lid, the other door, Those don't need much body work at all. The hood, really haven't looked at it, but it looked like it was in really good shape when it came off the car. So we'll just work on getting this thing patched up and ready to go with the rest of the panels. All right, well, here's our spot cutout right around here. Not too big. Go ahead and take my trusty old Harbor Freight grinder and zip this out and see where we're at. Well, I got most of this cut out. I'm going to try and see if I can pop it out. I didn't want to cut in too deep because I've got the actual frame of the door underneath the skin, so I don't want to go through and go into that and go all the way through to the underside. That's no good. So I'm just going to see if I can pop this out, or if we've got to go in here a little more with the grinder and take a little more material. You know, I do have a 3-inch grinder down in the shop, but it runs on air. And yeah, maybe we'll have to get that for future endeavors, but hopefully we'll be okay here. Perfect. There we go. There's my template for my new piece. Now I do see, looking down in here, there's some rust, so clean this up and we'll throw some of the Eastwood internal frame coating stuff in here and choke off whatever rust is in here and active. So I guess I will need to take out the glass for that. But all in all, it's not too bad. If you've been following along with the Chevy, that's a whole lot worse. You can see why I didn't want to press too hard and go through, because right here is some of the frame, or the door frame support, and I just barely ticked that, so that's not a big concern. But you can see I didn't go through the rest of the door frame here. So that was my main concern. So now we'll make a new patch and work on getting it tacked in. I guess there is no room for my butt weld clamp, so we'll have to use magnets. And there's not much of a contour on this, so if I throw just a little curve by hand, I should be able to tack it in place and not have to do a lot of metal shaping. Alrighty, well, we've got our patch cut up, test fit. I've sprayed some that internal frame coating, the rust inhibitor, on the back side of this piece and in this little cavity where we could get to. And once we get into the rest of the door panel, I'll spray some in there. But for right now, this is our main point of focus. Got a couple of magnets on here. What I'm going to do is just do a couple of tacks along the top. And we do have just a tiny bit of curvature right in here, so I'm going to use a clamp once I get this tacked in, clamp this down to the bottom here so we can maintain this curve, and we should be good to go. Alrighty, for right now that looks pretty good. Along here, these are all nice and flush. Yes, there is a little, actually, you know what? Still kind of warm, but it feels smooth. We'll get the rest of this welded in around and sand it down. And I think probably just have to hit it with a little bit of glaze. So we'll open this up here, get the primer off there. or at least scuff it up. Probably just go back down to the bare metal and hit it with a little skim coat. I don't think we're going to need any actual filler in here because this panel fit in really well. But we'll find out. We'll come back when I get this welded in. Alrighty, well, we've got patch panel put in, welded in, ground down, and cleaned up, ready for some filler, skim, whatever you want to call it. Just spotted one little pinhole. I want to go back and fix this one and this one. Everything else here looks pretty good across the top here. So I'm going to throw in just a little bit of filler right here on the seam, and it'll be good to go. Alrighty. Of course, I'm wrong-handed for this based on where it's located, but hey. I got some crap on my spreader. It's always wonderful, right? I'm trying to follow the contour of this here with my putty. So that's why you can see me try to bend it a little bit with my fingers as I'm applying it. Of course, being left-handed, this is not helping me. If this damage could have been done on the driver's door or the back of the door, that would have been a lot easier for me. But no, it's got to be in the front of the door where I'm wrong-handed. And I'll fully admit my right hand is not nearly as skilled and controlled as my left hand here is, so we're going to let this sit and dry. And after that is dried up, we'll come back, sand her down, hit it with a little bit of glaze, and call this one a wrap. At least for now. Of course, we have to come back, do the whole rest of the door, but I miss trying to go through and hit some of these bigger ticket items. They're going to take me time. So when we come back ready to get everything ready for primer, all this body work, the fill is done, all the rust is removed, and we can just go ahead, strip it down, any prep work, prime it, and go. Alrighty, well, we've got our first layer of fill on there, and that's where we're going to stay for right now. Why? Let me show you. So as I am just kind of sanding around here and blocking around, I notice this big dimple in here, which we're going to have to tap out from the backside with our dollies and a hammer. But it makes no sense for me to continue sanding this down, glazing it, only to have to come back and redo it when we get this dent or pucker knocked out. So all I'm going to do is spray a little bit of DTM primer on here for right now, and we're going to call it good. So while it's not a complete fix in this video, it does set us up for being able to come back and finish the door off when we get to the rest of paint and body work for everything else. So we've probably taken, I don't know, probably 5 hours when it's all said and done to get the door torn down, part cut out, welded in, whatever, sanded, filled. Somebody who does this for a living probably can do it quicker, but I'm in the garage. So we are going to, of course, come back with a ton more content on the Challenger. And like I said, we have lots of stuff to do, lots of steel to put back on it. The roof, the deck lid, the filler panel, the floor pan. Hopefully when it's up here shortly, I'm going to run through the underside and get that cleaned up and undercoat that. And that's going to allow us to throw in our new fuel system. We've had that sitting here for, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, I think. At least 6 months, I think. So we can put that in there and not have to rely on the little 1-gallon gas can strapped under the hood anymore. Or, you know, if the hood was actually on it. Oh yeah, we also have the inner fender. So we'll see if we can do that without having to pull out the engine. Anyways, for right now, this is going to do it. We'll, of course, be back with a bunch more content on the Challenger. We've got the 52 Chevy we're working on, course, we've got that Fiesta, Mr. Taco we're working on too, get that out the door. Just a whole bunch of stuff going on in the middle of winter in the middle of Minnesota. So, till the next video, have fun and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.